All right, everybody. So we are going to be going over how you are going to make your first $10,000 trading step by step. This is the same route that I chose to be able to make my first 10,000. And around that time, I was like 17. So made my first $10,000 when I was 17. I was nobody special. I was literally like an idiot, still like a junior in high school, 2 point something GPA. I'm not smart. I just stuck to it, and that's what this is. That's why I'm here where I am today. So everything that I did step by step, and you guys can follow along and hopefully see the same result. I want to go ahead and get started with the very basics. So a lot of people, when they get into trading, they hesitate on the first thing, which is obviously just taking your first step. So many people contemplate where or how they're going to get started, so they never even get started in the first place rather than just starting somewhere and figuring out along the way. The biggest thing that you can do is trying to figure out like the perfect time or the perfect day or whatever to get started. A lot of people, if you're anything like me, you want to be a perfectionist, you want to execute it as perfectly as possible, but perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. You're wanting to make everything perfect. You want it to be the perfect time, the perfect day, the perfect place, and that's just as a disguise to make you feel complacent so that you don't actually get started and you're just procrastinating actually changing your life. So first step, obviously, you just have to get started. That's the first thing that you should be doing. Now, what I mean by that is educating yourself. Find proper education. I have a free trading course, the link in the description if you guys want to go check that out. I show you guys most of the things that I know. I give you a free strategy in the free trading course. I give you some technical analysis help, a bunch of other things just to help you guys inside of trading and just getting started in general. Inside of that, obviously, like I said, I give you a strategy. Now, you can choose that strategy. You can try to make your own. You can try to find another one. The point is, it doesn't matter what strategy it is. Strategy is so little in comparison to everything else that actually matters in trading. You just have to find one strategy and stick to it. It doesn't matter if it's the one that I give you in the free course. It doesn't matter if you learn it by yourself. It doesn't matter where you get it. You can literally have a dream about a strategy and start using it. As long as you understand it and you know how to execute it, stick to that and let that be it. It doesn't matter what it is. Just stick to one strategy. Obviously, with a strategy, for you to make money with it, you have to learn how to execute with it, which means starting to learn execution. I have a trade recap channel where I show you guys, if you guys choose to use the strategy that I show in the free trading course, I have multiple videos on my trade recap channel showing you guys the trades that I'm taking with it, how I'm trading with it, and everything like that. So if you guys want to go check that out, these are videos where I execute the strategy. I go over the trades that I take so you guys can learn from me and hopefully learn how to execute just like I do. Now, obviously, with a bunch of different strategies, some people have different plans for risk management, but I think that these rules can be universal to any strategy that you choose. I think having a good risk management plan is very important. That's like a non-negotiable in trading because without that, you have nothing. Without risk management, you're going to lose all of your money. You're not going to have any actual edge in the market. You're just going to get liquidated every single time that you trade without any risk management. So I found the best general risk management plans that I think that works best with any strategy. This can be universal to any strategy. What I think to be the best is taking 1 to 2 trades per day and getting off. If you win your first trade of the day, take your win and get off the charts. The last thing that you want to do is make a win in the market, make some money, and then give your profits back to the market by taking another trade and losing it. After you win your trade for the day, get off. As I say, the 1 or 2 trades per day, that's considering you lose your first trade of the day. You have a possibility to get it back, but that doesn't mean to revenge trade. If you take a loss and the market conditions are not giving you a good setup, don't force a second trade just to take a second trade and make your money back. Only take actual good trades. So if that means you take your first L and then you see an actual good setup after that, you can take that trade. You can make your money back and maybe plus more. But after that, you're getting off. It doesn't matter. Now, risk management also means a percent of the account. So with a lot of people's accounts, you don't want to be risking 10, 20, 30%, 50% of your account on a single trade. After that, you're pretty much liquidating anything that you have. So do not risk any more than 1% of the total account per trade. This means if you have a $50,000 account, do not risk more than $500. You should not be risking more than $500. Some people do 0.5%. That means risking $250 per trade. With your risk reward, if you're risking 1% of the account, if you have a good risk reward, that means you're risking around $500 to make $1,000, maybe $1,500 if it's a 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 risk reward. But I think the best general rule of thumb is do not risk any more than 1% of the total account per trade. You only need one win per day to be able to retire yourself for the rest of your life. I can promise you this, and I'll show you how to do that later on in this video. You need to win one trade, and even if you don't win a trade a day, even if you win 2 or 3 trades a week, that is enough to retire you for the rest of your life, and I will also show you how to do that later on in this video. But Like I said, get off the charts after you win. There's no reason to sit there in front of the charts. The markets, the way that they are organized, the way that it is formed to make you psychologically want to trade. It is the way that the market moves psychologically. It makes you want to enter. It makes you want to trade. It makes you want to make money. And overall, what does that lead to? That leads to a loss of gains. That leads to taking way too many trades and losing more money for absolutely no reason. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is after you take a win, get off the charts, literally shut it off, because I promise you, if you sit in front of the charts long enough, you're going to end up taking a trade. I can guarantee you it. Also, with a set lot size, most people, I think that the best thing that you can do is trade micros, but depending on the account that you are on, I would say trade max 1 mini. If you guys don't know what this means, that basically just means the amount of contracts that you are trading. 1 mini is 10 micros. And so if you have a $50,000 account, I think the best thing you can do is probably trade 5, 8 micros, but max 1 mini. I would never go above that on a $50,000 account. Stick to a certain contract size, stick to a certain lot size, and leave it at that. Do not change that no matter what. Now, another thing that I think we should get into, definitely one of the best things that helped me along my journey, is journaling your trade to track your progress. Losses in trading are not a bad thing all the time. The best teacher in trading, the best mentor in trading is the market, is actually learning from the market itself. If you're able to take enough L's from the market in general, if you're learning after every single one of those losses, eventually you're going to get to a point where you've seen it all, you've done everything, you've made as many losing trades as you possibly can, to where you are figuring things out as you go. You're learning by the market, and the market is going to be the best teacher. As long as you're learning from the losses, that is a win. If you are able to take away something from each loss that you take, you are winning in the long run. Getting your statistics on your trading to build your confidence, that's something that you can also do with journaling. If you're journaling your trades, you're able to see your average risk reward, your win percentage, the similarities between your L's, the similarities between your W's. You're able to find all these things and get your statistics on your trading. Let's say if you don't know your statistics on trading, you don't know that, okay, after I take an L with a 50 or 60% win rate, statistically speaking, the next trade that I take should be a winner. And if not, I'm off. Right? If you have your statistics on your trading, it's no longer just you trying to rely on yourself for confidence. You will have actual statistics backing you up, leading you to be more confident in the market. If I know that I take a W and I have a 50% or 30% win rate, the chances of me taking another W after that are very small. So after that, I would consider getting off the charts, not taking another trade. Same thing. If I have an 80% win rate and I take an L, I know statistically speaking, the next trade that I take should be a W. As long as I'm following my trading plan, you allow your edge to keep building and stay consistent throughout this. And I think journaling your trades is one of the best ways to do that. Boost your confidence, and you're able to learn the consistencies and similarities between your losing trades and winning trades. If you have a winning trades that you're taking, and you're looking at all of your other winners, if there's one thing that sticks out of every single one of those winners, keep applying that. Same thing. If you have a bunch of losing trades, you look at all those in your journal and you're saying, wow, every single one of my losing trades has this in it. If you take that away from your trading plan, that helps you in general in the long run, making you a more consistent and a more profitable trader. Now, one of the final things that I think is the best way to be able to make your first $10,000 in trading is do not use your own capital. If you are getting into trading, you're trying to start your own live account, you're using your own capital, you are going to lose all of your money. I can guarantee this. You're going to rinse all of your money. You're going to lose it. You're going to end up wasting all your time and wasting all your money. And in general, you're just going to be left with nothing. You're going to lose all your money. And I can guarantee you that because I did it personally too. I started with my own money. My dad gave me some money to put into a live account. I blew it all. He gave me some more. I blew it all again. From that point out, I worked a job. I did landscape. I did power washing, and I did all that just to be able to fund myself. And this is the way I leverage my money, is by using prop accounts. Even if you have $50, $100, $200, these accounts allow you to trade with thousands of dollars that allow you to make money off of other people's money. Now, the way that these prop firms work is they make money off of people losing and people blowing accounts. Now, what you're going to do is you're not going to be a gambler. You're going to stick to your trading plan, and you are going to learn how to rinse these prop firms. Now, the best thing with these prop firms, and this is my prop firm that I personally like to use, Alpha Futures. If you guys go check them out, the link is going to be in the description. I have a code. Use code AVAL. Let me put that on the screen, actually. Now, like I said, one of the firms that I like to use the most is Alpha Futures. I have a partnership with them. I have a code with them. If you guys use my code, the link is in the description. You guys get a % off of all their accounts. This is not just for me to plug. I started using Alpha Futures before they even reached out to me to do a partnership. Before Alpha Futures reached out to me, I bought 3 of their accounts completely by myself. no nudging, no anything. I had no expectations for a partnership. I bought 3 of their accounts just because I saw how good their rules were, and compared to every other firm, they are objectively the best firm with the best payout rules and the best rules just in general. Now, the reason why I have all these documents right here, this is just for you. You don't have to take my word for it. Statistically speaking, the Alpha Futures advanced accounts are the best prop firm accounts that you can possibly buy with money. You don't have to just take my word for it. That's why I provided these documents. Read it for your own. Pause the video. You guys can check out. This is the best firm, statistically and objectively speaking. You don't have to take my word for it. Check it out yourself. Again, if you guys want to buy accounts from them, use code AVAL at checkout. Now, the reason why I put this as a part of this document is because of how much you can leverage these prop firms. If you know how to trade these prop firms effectively, you can be investing maybe $200, $300 into an account, and you can be making thousands of dollars a week on these prop firms. Now, this is something that I like to take advantage of with these prop firms is a lot of them have this thing called copy trading involved, which means if you have one account on your live account, you can trade one contract on your live account and, you're risking $500 per account if that's 1% of your account. But a lot of people don't have the money to be putting it in a prop firm account, but also you're not risking your own money whenever you're trading with these prop accounts. The best thing about it too is that you are able to copy trade your accounts. Alpha Futures allow you to copy trade up to 3 accounts. So instead of making $250 a day on a trade, let's say you take a trade, you win $250. If you have 3 accounts, that's now times that by 3. $750 in one trade in one day without risking any more of your own money. You're only buying accounts and that's it. You're not risking your own money. When you lose a trade, you're not paying for anything. That is completely up to the prop firm to pay you out. Now, this is one of my screenshots from Friday. Instead of making $2,000 on one account, I made a little bit over $7,000 just by this one day because I was copy trading 5 accounts. Now, the reason why I like to leverage this is because, as an example, if you're taking even if 3 trades a week, even if you're taking 3 trades a week, let's say that you have around a 66% win rate. You're winning 2 trades out of every 3. So let's say you take 3 trades in a week, you win 2 of them and you lose 1 of them. If you have an average risk reward for around that percent of, if your win percent is around 66%, a good risk reward to be around there is a 2 maybe 2.5 to 1 risk reward, which means for every $100 that you lose or that you risk on a trade, you're typically looking to make back $200 or $250. That's a 2.5 to 1 risk reward. Now, let's say that you make $12.50 on 2 of your trades. So you made $12.50 on each trade of the week. So you say you take one trade, you make $12.50, and you take another trade, you make $12.50. Now, that's $2,500 for those 2 trades of the week. Now let's consider that losing trade. You lose $500 because your risk reward is 2.5 to 1. So you're risking $500 to make $12.50 every single time that you're taking in a trade, right? Let's say you end the week with 1 L and 2 wins with a 2.5 risk reward. At the end of the week, you made $2,000. But because we're copy trading these accounts, you times that by 3. That is now $6,000 that you made off of just a couple $100 invested into these prop firm accounts. Now you have a total profit of $2,000 per account. So now you can take your first payout of $1,000 per account, leaving you at $3,000 total of withdrawals in accounts. Every single time that you take a withdrawal, I think that the best thing that you can do is leave a little bit for a buffer so you can continue to rinse and repeat this process. Instead of just withdrawing the whole $6,000, what I think the best thing that you can do is withdraw half of that, leave half of it as a buffer as your drawdown so that you can keep repeating and doing this cycle over and over again. Not just because you can make $6,000 at once, but so you can make $3,000 every week. Week after week, you're trying to make this a consistent thing. You're not trying to make it $6,000 at one time and then that's it. No, you want to make this $3,000 per week, even if it's a little bit less, a little bit more than that. The best thing that you can do is allow yourself to keep rinsing and repeating this process. Now, this is without risking any of your own money. You made $3,000 in 1 week and you only invested a couple $100 into these accounts, right? Now, if we go down here, this is my first payout. This is one of my first payouts. This isn't my first payout, but this is one of them, right? This is with Apex, $2,300 I requested, right? I think this was probably my 3rd or 4th payout. So my first payout, I think it was in around I want to say it was around August or September last year, right? This is one of my first payouts. It was $2,300. I think this was like a few months after my first payout. Now with this account, this is only off of one account that I took this payout. What I did with this money is I reinvested this into more accounts. That is the best way to be able to scale your money with trading. This is $2,300 I made with just one account. Now, imagine I was copy trading 5 accounts. That is over $10,000 just from a couple $100 being invested. And that's with profits. I'm only playing with profits. The money that I made from this, I'd reinvest it into more accounts to then eventually make more money. And you're only reinvesting the money that you're making with the profits that you're making from trading, right? So, on to my next point. Once you find the system that works best for you, you rinse and repeat the process to get consistent results. These are all payouts from Alpha Futures. Once you find a winning process like this, the best thing that you can do is keep doing this and then rinsing and repeating the same thing to make it repeatable, just like this. You find a system that works, you rinse and repeat that process, not to get more, not to make more money, not to, go crazy. It's just to make it consistent. You don't want to do $10,000 payout, $20,000 payout. No, you want to be able to keep winning consistently. It doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be consistent. Even if you have a bad week, if you're using proper risk management, that will allow you to stay in the game. Let's say even if you don't do this, let's say you have a bad week and you lose $500 overall in the week. You made zero money. If you have proper risk management, that means that you're not losing any money and you're not blowing these accounts. You still have enough money to be able to trade the next week and even the week after that. So with these accounts, there can be sustainability, but that is completely up to you and your risk management plan. This means that, look, even if you have a bad week, you're going to be allowing yourself to still have a longevity inside of this game. Now, the best thing that I can consider when I'm doing this is psychologically, you have to allow yourself to have a longevity mindset. You don't have to want to force that payout within the next week. You don't have to force that payout within the next 2 weeks. You don't even have to get it within a month, but allowing yourself to have a longevity mindset. Let's say that you want to make trading your full-time career. You want to be trading for the next 10, 20, 30 years, right? If you want this to be your career, that's the reality that you're going to live in. You have decades of trading days ahead of you. You have tens of thousands of setups waiting for you in your future. So allowing yourself to have a longevity mindset, maybe you don't see the best setup in one day. Maybe you don't see the best setup, in an entire week. That means that you're not allowing yourself to fall into this short mindset where you want that payout this week, you want that payout next week, or you want to pass your funded account this week, you want to pass your funded account next. Allow yourself to give enough time not to chase profit. Do not chase profit. Don't chase the payouts. Chase consistency. The best thing that you can do as a trader, becoming a better trader does not mean seeing more P&L. Becoming a better trader does not mean seeing more money in your bank account. That means just being a more consistent and a more disciplined trader. The best thing that I can say is to be patient with yourself. This was June 6, 2022. So roughly 3 years ago this was. I was 15. I started trading and I lost $350. I thought the world was ending, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't being patient with myself because I was turning 16 soon. I didn't want to get a job. I didn't want to do anything besides trading. And what did I do? I ended up pretty much losing almost every single dollar I had by trading because I wasn't giving myself enough time. I wasn't allowing myself to actually make it work. Instead, I was rushing myself. I didn't want to give myself enough time, and therefore I lost my money. I was losing my mind in this video, and obviously, one thing led to another. I kept going with trading. I kept pushing, even through all the L's, even through all the setbacks. I kept going, and I am where I am today. But this is only because what you guys see today is only a result of years and years of losing. I lost every single dollar I had in my bank account for years and years on end. That is why I am where I am today. That is why I am so much a more successful trader. That is because I gave myself enough time. I allowed myself to stick it out, and that's why I am where I am today. It's not because I rushed it. It's not because I made it quick. It's not because I got rich like ridiculously fast. It's not because it was easy, but it's because I stuck to it. I did everything that I knew I had to, and eventually you end up here, right? So this is one of the most realistic pathways I see that you can possibly make your first $10,000 within trading. My suggestion is, first steps for you guys. Go check out the link in the description for the free course. It's a free trading course. I give you guys information. I give you guys your first strategy. I give you guys everything that you could possibly need to start trading. From then, you can see how I apply it. Just a brief summary. From then, you can see how I apply it. You can create your own risk management plan, or you can steal this one. After that, I would start practicing your trades. If that means getting on a demo account, on a paper trading account on TradingView, start journaling those trades. Find your statistics. Once you find yourself comfortable being able to execute and journal your trades and find your statistics, find your edge, then I would say go to a prop account. Again, Alpha Futures, the link is in the description. Use code AVAL whenever you check out for a discount. The best way that you're going to be able to make money, especially if you don't have a lot of money, you don't need tens of thousands of dollars saved. You don't need even $1,000 saved. You don't need $5,000 saved. Literally all you need is a couple $100 to be able to do this and start buying these accounts and rinsing prop firms if you know how to trade and you're not just being a gambler. If you're gambling these accounts, you're going to lose your money even if you were trading just like a live account. Even if you're buying these prop firms account, I guarantee you, if you're just gambling these, you're going to lose all your money. If you know how to trade and you're being disciplined and you're being smart about this, you can make tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from just prop firms. I've had people do it where I've taught them for 6 months, and I have people in my Discord that are making over 5 figures a month just from prop firms. And that is because they've learned how to do this. They found systems that work for them. They rinsed and repeated this, and they made it a good and consistent process that allows them to make over 5 figures a month just from trading prop firms. It's so doable. It's so possible. And this is the most realistic way that you guys are going to be able to do it. Obviously, if you guys want to go check out, the link is in the description for my free course, but I also do have a trading mentorship where I allow people to work with me one-on-one. I do one-on-one calls. That's opening up here soon. It's not open right now because I've been shut down for a few months. I wanted to lock in with all my students and I wanted to get them results. Obviously, we've done that. We've had so many students get crazy results, payouts, past fundeds, people making 5 figures a month consistently. Very, very simple, very, very easy when you stick to the plan and you keep going. Obviously, that comes with months. Obviously, that comes with a lot of time and dedication, but it is very, very possible. And I have that system repeated with a bunch of different students. Like I said, that is shut down right now, but if you guys follow my Instagram, the link is in the description. I'll be announcing when that opens up. It won't be too long. It'll be in about a week and a half from now. So if you guys want to go and get signed on for that, you guys can go check out my Instagram where I'll be giving updates on that. Other than that, if you guys want to join, that's all I have for this video. Everything that I talked about that you need access to, the link is in the description of this video, so go check out the link. Also, check out my Twitter. I show you guys some trade ideas that I have there. Basically, everything is the link in the description. Basically, everything, the link is in the description. So if you want to go check out, link in the description, go ahead and do that. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoy this, and God bless you all.